I am a transhumanist and I advocate for the responsible use of technology to further humanity. Basically, the idea is we have three main tenets. We want to give humans super intelligence, super well being, and super longevity. So we want to use technologies like artificial lungs or hearts or eyeballs or prosthetic limbs, or more controversially, we want to use computers to meld with people and improve our range of senses. Well, I've always been involved with technology and I've always really enjoyed it. And I've always also been involved in philosophy. So when I found that there's a philosophy involving technology, I looked into it and found that it was a perfect fit for my world viewpoint. It's not exactly pessimistic or optimistic, but it is very futurist. I have always loved schooling. I've always loved learning and improving myself. However, due to familial circumstances, I missed 5 years of school, and then I got dropped off in my sophomore year of high school, and I had to spend a little bit of time catching up, but I put in the effort. Now I'm a 4.0 student, doing pretty well for myself. I'm going to MIT and University of Tennessee to get a degree in nuclear engineering. And I also, on the side, maybe want to minor in philosophy or something. I've always wanted to write about stuff like that. Probably the biggest struggle for me to get to where I am and where I'm going to be, it has to be the fact that I've always had this downcast kind of attitude, and I've always, because of my circumstances, limited myself and believed I couldn't go as far as I have. I've always felt oh, I'm poor, or oh, I'm this, or something is holding me back, and blaming my problems on my external circumstances. I've always been poor. I've come from poverty, and many people go through it. The numbers are astronomically high, but people don't ever think about it. And oftentimes when they do, they only see the most extreme cases and are oh, that's not me. I'm not being battered and bruised. I'm not being starved or put in a cellar. They don't realize that abuse comes in all forms. You can be verbally and emotionally torn down over the years. You can just be ignored. You can be left to your own devices. And I would advise for those people to just, it's difficult, but try and get help, and don't let these circumstances define who you are in a negative way. Don't learn the helplessness that's common amongst victims. Become a better person because of it. I do sometimes wonder if it is a good thing that I've gone through these hard times to make me a stronger person. I would say that I have benefited to the best I can from it, but it's still not as good as it would have been if I didn't have it. But people should understand and be educated about these things. They should be educated about abuse or neglect or any other form of ignorance or hate. They shouldn't have to go through it, but if they do, they should go through it with the best attitude and best opportunities possible.